I've been playing professional golf for the last 7 years. And there are plenty of assumptions that I've heard and read, and what we are addressing today is professional golf all it's cracked up to be.
Golf is not that hard.
Well, it doesn't have to be. That's why we cut through all the highbrow golf BS to give you what you really need to know to enjoy the golfing experience.
I'm Doug Smith.
And I'm Cheyenne Woods.
And together we have over 50 years experience playing the game of golf at every level.
Every week we'll break down a new topic in 10 minutes or less, answering some of the most popular questions in golf today.
You're welcome. You know, in my experience, Cheyenne, in my short-lived professional golf career, traveling as a professional golfer, regardless of the tour that you're on, is difficult, regardless. Just the constant flights, the constant rental cars, language barriers, customs, visas. It's not as easy as everybody thinks it is just to hop on a plane and go to these places like you're going on vacation.
I mean, you and I, we grew up playing golf, wanting to play professionally, and people watching from the outside in assume that the professional life is this glamorous lifestyle where you're living like celebrities, traveling in the best ways, where in actuality, you know, whether it's mini tour, LPGA, or PGA Tour, it's hard.
It could be quite the opposite.
There's a lot that goes with it.
I had this conversation with a friend of mine a little bit back in the day when I actually turned pro. They didn't understand, like, so you're a professional golfer now. Are you like semi-pro, or are you like a pro? Like,
I get that question a lot.
Are you semi-professional? What the hell is that? I don't even know the semi-professional. Does this check semi-cash when I get it? Like, no,
yeah.
It doesn't.
Semi-cash.
Like, no.
It better not be semi-cash.
It's a check that's got some cash behind it.
I got bills to pay.
Right, exactly. So, unlike most other professional sports, there's no draft in golf, right? There's no NBA type of ESPN sponsored draft where you get up on the stage in a horrible, expensive-looking suit where you can just look however the hell you want.
Throw a hat on.
That doesn't happen in golf. Guess what? You, Joe Roast Beef golfer, you can wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Today is the day.
I'm going to do it. I've been working hard. You know what? Boom. I'm a professional.
And that's it. No signing bonuses.
That's all it takes to be a professional golfer. You just wake up one day with an inkling like, you know what? I got some talent. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I quit. F everybody. I'm done. I'm out. Where's Q School? Sign me up.
Oh, man. And Q School, that's one thing that a lot of people don't know. Q School, I know for the men, it costs at least 10 grand to get through.
Before what it costs. Like, I had to explain this to my family when I went to Q School. It's not an actual school. Like, people thought, like...
You mean you don't take classes?
No, people thought, no, that's what my family thought. They thought that I was literally going to go sit down and, like, learn how to do this. Like, no, Q School is an expensive-ass golf tournament that used to be 6 days. They used to take you straight to the PGA Tour. Now, you got to subsequent it to the Korn Ferry Tour.
Korn Ferry,
I'm still not used to saying that either. Like,
how strange of a name is that? I need to Google what Korn Ferry is.
You know what? In the spirit of Birdie's Not BS, the new name of the web.com is some BS. Like the Korn Ferry. Look, no disrespect to Korn Ferry. Could be a fantastic company, but you know what?
And it's corn with a K.
It's
not a C.
That makes it all the better, the corn with a K. Jesus. Hello. No, but I feel like, you know, I'm running through this field and there's like pixie dust flying up, right? The Korn Ferry Tour. My family really thought I had to take a test, but then when I told them how much the test cost, it was astronomical. So for those out there listening, Q School is 3 stages. 4, if you have to go to pre-qualifying school, you have to pay $2,500 just as an entry fee. Then you got to get there. Then you got to pay for the caddy. If you're not sponsored and you're not getting bankrolled by somebody, how can you even have a good caddy? You're like, you got the caddy from like Happy Gilmore, the guy that's like picking up the ball marker.
I have had some really bad caddies.
Dang.
I had a caddy once. I'm not going to say where names or anything, but I had a caddy who answered his cell phone on the green as I was playing. I had to give him a little talk, pull him aside.
You should have texted him. You should have just texted him like, you're fired.
That's it. Let me take the bag.
Just pulled the Shooter McGavin. You're fired.
Right.
Here's the thing. Traveling in hotels week in and week out is difficult if you have any type of body ailments. For example, did you know that Louis Oosthuizen, who has won a British Open, is a major champion, travels his mattress week to week? Did you know this?
I didn't know it, but I believe it.
Travels his mattress. That's not glamour. That's the opposite of glamorous.
Well, you know what? In a sense, it's somewhat glamorous because I don't think that I could travel with my big ass mattress every week.
That's fair. That might be more one of the glamorous perks. But he got to get a damn U-Haul and put it in a container and ship it across the country. Here's the thing. when you're traveling, people forget that at a certain level, even on the professional tour, except you're flying private jets, that you work on a buddy system when you're traveling on the lesser tours. The buddy system is a necessary way of life on the mini tours. Like you can't afford to do it by yourself. You need like a team of like 2 or 3.
I mean, just to give the listeners a realistic idea of what the week looks like, on the LPGA tour, you're paying your caddy at least $1,000. You're staying in a hotel most of the time, which is probably $100 a night. So
don't say that.
That's really
you staying like
generous.
Say like $215.
Okay, so you're spending about $1,000, I guess, right? A week. Split that.
If you make the cut, you're spending more.
So
I'm saying, like, you're making cuts, you're spending more money to stay. Like,
yeah, you've got the rental car, which adds up super quick. So having a buddy or a friend that you can split the expenses with makes a huge difference. I mean, you're talking these players are playing at least 20 to 25 events a year. That adds up really quick. You need at least 60 to 70 grand just to break even.
So tell me, you leave the venue on Sunday, or do you travel on Mondays from the previous week's tournament?
It depends on where we are and where we're going. So some cities obviously are easier to travel out of than others. I love traveling Sunday night as soon as I get done off the course. If I can, just get out of there and get to the next spot, because you want to be able to have that Monday totally off, or at least be in your location to have a decent practice and not just be constantly on the go and tired. And so that's another thing to kind of look into is the travel in between events. Are you driving 12 hours or are you taking a flight, a last minute flight? You missed the cut. Can you change your flight? So it definitely takes some organization.
And everybody doesn't have an agent, right? And people think that all these flight arrangements are made by these agencies and these people and these business managers or whomever.
Or the tour. I know a lot of my friends assume that the tour pays for your travel and your hotels, whereas this isn't totally individual sport. Totally individual to where we are taking care of all of our expenses.
That sucks.
That's BS.
That is BS. It's BS and it sucks.
That is the life that professional golfers live. I play in pro-ams and they can't believe that we are literally like a traveling circus. We go from city to city and we take all our stuff,
and
we move to the next city,
wares.
We perform, we compete, you go to the next city, and we're living our lives on the road.
You have to sacrifice a lot because you're in a new city every week.
Right.
Okay, so do you just have like friends everywhere? Like, is it even worth all this to play and travel and be everywhere?
I think the longest I've been on the road is probably 12 weeks straight. And when you look at that, you're living out of a suitcase, you're traveling week to week, different cities, places you don't know people at, some places you get to see friends from college or whatever the case may be, but it is hard living life on the road. But it depends on your goals and what you enjoy about the sport. And for me, I love to compete and I love to see how good I can get. So for me, it's worth it, because I want to see every week how I can improve and how my game stands up to the other girls. We travel to some really amazing places. As hard as the travel is, that glamorous side of it, traveling the world, is pretty dope.
You know, when I was playing in the sponsors that I did have and the help that I did receive, it was always as though people thought I had money. Right? People thought I was doing it. And I don't know if it's the same for you or other players, but there are some guys on the PGA Tour that do live like this. But you really are almost check to check, week to week. If you make the check, you eat or you don't. Especially if you're not bankrolled or you don't have a sponsor. And God bless those who do have sponsors. But even having a sponsor doesn't make it as glamorous as it may seem, because you're on call.
And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that not all of these athletes have those multi-million-dollar sponsorships. You might see them wearing a big name brand, but they don't have the 6-figure paycheck or the sponsorship deal that you might assume they do. They're still a lot of times working check to check and just trying to make ends meet.
As you know, the last few minutes of our show, we dedicate to getting a little bit technical, where we turn it up just a little bit. This week, we want to talk about practicing while traveling. I really enjoy the mirror. You know, every hotel comes equipped with a mirror. It's hard to find a hotel that doesn't have a reflective surface. So what I do is I just take my club and I really rehearse some of the positions that I'm trying to hit in my golf swing. I close my eyes and take the club halfway back, open my eyes to see if that looks how it feels. Because I'll tell you one thing, how it looks and what it feels like sometimes can be so totally different that they don't sync and they don't match. So having the mirror there, closing your eyes to feel a position and then get that visual confirmation of said position really can do wonders for your golf game.
I agree. And along those same lines, one great thing that I know all professional golfers have done while on the road is putting in the hotel room. You can find whether it's the carpet pattern or a tile. I love using those as straight lines to align my putter. I know I'm square. I know I'm aimed straight. And you can really work on your stroke while in the room. Usually they're great speed as well. They're usually very quick.
Really quick.
So it'll tell you exactly how you're putting. You know, put a little cup out there, get that visualization of actually making a putt. And again, use those lines. They're there, they're great, and they're really helpful for you, for me, and for anybody who's wanting to work on their game.
So hey, try the mirror, try putting in your hotel room on the floor, see if you can get better.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. That's another week of Birdies Not BS. Don't forget to send in your questions to our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, birdiesnotbs.com. Hit us up.
Holla.